You ever lie next to your wife and realize she's not really there anymore? Her body's beside you, but her heart left a long time ago. 5 years back, she couldn't keep her hands off you. Now, she touches you like she's clocking in for a job she hates. You bring flowers, she scrolls. You plan a night out, she says she's tired. You try to talk, she sighs like you're bothering her, and you've done everything right. You listen, you help around the house. You're emotionally open, patient, kind. The kind of husband women on social media say they want. Yet the more you give, the less she wants you. You've read the books, watched the experts, tried the advice. None of it works. And you're lying there wondering what the hell happened. How did love turn into indifference? Let me tell you something no one dares to say out loud. The woman you married might be playing a game you don't even know exists. You think she's tired? She's not tired. She's tired of you. That truth cuts deep, but you've felt it already. In every quiet rejection, every cold shoulder, every night she says, "Not tonight," and then stays up laughing at her phone. She's not exhausted. She's just not interested in you anymore. And that's where every loyal man begins to break. When love turns into duty and connection turns into control. Next time she turns you down, pay attention to what happens afterward. Don't focus on the rejection. Focus on what she does next, because that's where the truth hides. Does she suddenly get energy to scroll TikTok? Does she spend another hour on Netflix? Does she laugh on the phone with her friends while you sit there staring at the ceiling? She's not tired, brother. She's tired of you. That line hurts, I know. But deep down, you've already felt it. You've been living inside that quiet confusion. The contradiction between what she says she wants and how she actually acts. She'll tell you intimacy requires emotional closeness, that she just needs to feel connected before she can desire you. Sounds reasonable, right? But watch her when she wants something. Suddenly she's affectionate. Suddenly she's in the mood. Not because she's fallen back in love, but because there's something in it for her. You've seen it happen. Right before a big purchase, a family trip, or some favor she needs from you. Suddenly, the warmth returns. The affection reappears. Then, as soon as she gets what she wants, the door slams shut again. The connection vanishes. The excuses come back. I'm tired. I'm stressed. Maybe tomorrow. I had a client who hadn't been touched by his wife in half a year. Every night she had a new excuse. Too tired. Too anxious. Too much going on. Then a high school reunion came around. Suddenly, she wanted new clothes, a new haircut, a husband who looked polished beside her. That week, she initiated intimacy like she was rediscovering passion. The day after the reunion, back to rejection, cold as ever. Because it was never about connection. It was about cooperation. She didn't want him. She wanted his participation in her image. And that, my friend, is the game no one warns you about. The use of intimacy as a tool, a form of control. For some women, affection stops being an expression of love. It becomes a transaction, a trade, a currency, a weapon. Something she can give, withhold, or manipulate to shape your behavior. It doesn't start that way. In the beginning, it feels real. The chemistry is strong, the passion effortless. But somewhere along the way, she discovers that your desire gives her leverage. She learns that your need for closeness can be used to steer you, to punish, to reward, to test, to teach. And the worst part? You think if you just love her harder, she'll come back. You keep trying. You keep serving. You keep proving your worth. But all it does is deepen the imbalance. You start living in emotional scarcity, a world where affection is a prize you have to earn, where silence becomes punishment, and small scraps of attention feel like victory. You stop being her husband and start being her project. Every move you make is graded. Every word you say, weighed, and you can't even complain about it. Because the moment you do, she'll tell you you're being dramatic, selfish, or ungrateful. I've counseled men who tracked the pattern, literally made charts. When they helped more, she gave more attention. When they disagreed or stood up for themselves, the affection vanished. The graph was perfect. She wasn't reacting to love. She was rewarding compliance. She was teaching them how to stay small. And these men, good men, didn't even see it happening. Because loyal husbands don't think that way. A good man doesn't use love as manipulation. He doesn't weaponize affection. When he loves through bad days and good ones. Through stress, arguments, weight gain, and mistakes. His love is steady. He believes hers is too, until the day he realizes that her warmth has conditions. That's when confusion turns into quiet heartbreak. You start asking yourself, what did I do wrong? You go back through every conversation, every moment, every argument, trying to find the mistake. But there is no single mistake. There's just erosion. Small pieces of respect and empathy chipped away, day after day. It starts with little criticisms. The way you load the dishwasher, the way you dress, the way you talk. Then it grows. Your job isn't impressive enough. Your hobbies are stupid. Your friends are childish. Until one day, she's rolling her eyes at everything you say. You've gone from partner to nuisance. I had a man show me 5 years of text messages from his wife. Year 1, love you, baby. Year 3, okay. Year 5, single word answers, sometimes nothing at all. Same man, same effort, but her tone had died. Not because he changed, but because her respect evaporated. And when respect dies, desire dies with it. That's the truth no one wants to talk about. Desire doesn't just fade, it decays under contempt. And contempt always needs a story to justify itself. Because admitting, I just don't want him anymore, feels cruel. So she rewrites the script. She tells herself you're emotionally unavailable, that you don't help enough, that you're not romantic. She manufactures disappointment to justify her withdrawal. She has to make you the problem, because if she doesn't, she has to face her own reflection. And once that narrative sets in, it feeds itself. The more she blames you, the more disconnected she feels. The more disconnected she feels, the more she justifies pulling away. It's a loop that slowly destroys the marriage while convincing her she's the victim. And you? You're stuck in a maze of self-doubt, chasing a version of her that doesn't exist anymore. I've seen it countless times. The loyal husband who works harder to fix it, believing effort equals love. He thinks if he just improves himself, gets in shape, makes more money, does more chores, she'll finally see him again. But she doesn't. Because this was never about what you're doing wrong. It's about the story she's telling herself to feel right. She's unhappy, but not because of you. She's unhappy because life didn't match her fantasy. She thought marriage would be endless butterflies, constant excitement, a permanent honeymoon. And when it turned into bills, routines, and real life, she didn't question her expectations. She blamed you for not making the fantasy real. That's the cruel irony. You're breaking your back trying to give her everything she dreamed of, and she's quietly resenting you for reminding her that dreams fade. She wanted a therapist, a provider, an entertainer, and a prince all rolled into one. When you couldn't fill every role, you became nothing, and her affection turned into a control mechanism. Good day at work? She's sweet. Forget to do something she asked? Ice cold for a week. Buy her something nice? Suddenly affectionate. Disagree with her opinion? Silent treatment for days. You start to notice the pattern. Affection tied to obedience. Love tied to compliance. You're not her husband anymore. You're being trained. And the saddest part? You think this is normal. You think this is love. Because somewhere along the line, society told you that being a good husband means sacrificing your dignity for peace. But that's not love. That's submission. And every time you comply, you lose a piece of yourself. Here's the part no one wants to admit. She's not falling out of love because you changed. She's rewriting the story so she doesn't have to face her own emptiness. It's not that you disappointed her. It's that she's disappointed with life. And you're the easiest person to blame. Every complaint she throws at you becomes part of the defense. First, you work too much. Then, you don't make enough. Then, you're home too little. Then, suddenly, you're around too much. The target keeps moving because the story needs to stay alive. She needs to keep the spotlight off herself because self-awareness feels like guilt, and guilt feels like weakness. So, the narrative keeps you as the villain and her as the victim. That's how the mind protects itself. It's not emotional intelligence, it's emotional avoidance, not reflection, projection, not honesty, self-preservation. And that's what breaks good men. You're out here problem-solving, analyzing, adapting, believing you can reason your way back to love. But you can't fix a story she's already rewritten in her head. Once she's decided that you're the problem, every action you take becomes proof. If you pull back, you're cold. If you try harder, you're needy. If you express frustration, you're toxic. You can't win a game where the rules change every time you start to score. What you're feeling isn't madness, it's manipulation. And it's not always intentional. Most of the time, it's subconscious. A woman taught to believe that happiness is something given to her will always resent the man who can't supply it. She mistakes the natural rhythm of life, the slow fade of the honeymoon phase, as evidence that you failed to keep her happy. The fantasy she built collapses, and you're the debris she blames for the wreckage. She's not angry at you. She's angry at the gap between expectation and reality. She thought marriage would feel like a movie, every day full of affection, butterflies, excitement. Instead, she found bills, arguments, laundry, and routines. And because admitting that fantasy was childish would shatter her ego, she tells herself the lie. You changed. Not I grew restless, but he stopped trying. Not I'm chasing dopamine, but he stopped making me feel loved. Not I'm bored with stability, but he's emotionally unavailable. This is how resentment disguises itself as righteousness. She convinces herself that detachment is justified, that coldness is self-protection, that rejecting you is an act of empowerment, not abandonment. And you, being loyal, keep trying to decode her silence. You start believing the problem is effort, so you give more. You offer help, compliments, quality time, everything she says she needs. But here's the twist. She doesn't want more effort. She wants more feeling. not yours, hers. She's chasing the high she once felt, and no act of service can recreate it. The tragedy is that the harder you work to fix it, the more unattractive you become in her eyes. Because the more you chase, the less she respects you. It's not your devotion that kills the spark. It's her perception of your devotion. What started as love turns into pity. You think consistency builds connection. She interprets consistency as complacency. You think loyalty earns trust. She sees loyalty as predictability. You think softness shows love. She sees softness as weakness. That's the cruel twist. The same qualities that make you a safe husband are the ones that make you invisible to her. And it's not because she's evil. It's because attraction for many women isn't constant. It's contextual. It's tied to novelty, excitement, emotional turbulence, stability. The very thing that builds a home kills the fantasy that built her desire. So now she's torn. She wants security and thrill at the same time. And she can't admit that contradiction, so she punishes you for it. She'll tell you she wants peace, but she'll create drama. She'll say she wants connection, but she'll sabotage it. She's addicted to the emotional roller coaster she claims to hate. Not peace, but stimulation. Not love, but validation. Not connection, but control. And here's where the power dynamic flips. Every time you give in to her emotional cycles, you reinforce them. You teach her that withdrawal gets attention. You reward coldness with effort. And soon, she's training you, not consciously but effectively, to earn her affection like a trick dog waiting for crumbs. I've seen men literally track it like data. The more they comply, the more affection they get. The moment they assert independence, the warmth disappears. It's behavioral conditioning disguised as love. And loyal husbands are too moral to even recognize it as manipulation because they can't imagine love being weaponized. But it is. Every cold shoulder, every withheld touch, every guilt trip wrapped in a sigh. It's not random. It's control dressed as fatigue. And that control eats away at who you are. You start watching your words, measuring your tone, censoring your thoughts. You stop being the man she fell for because you're too busy trying not to upset her. But here's the paradox. The man she wanted was the one who didn't fear her disapproval. The man she respected was the one who had boundaries. So what happens when you lose yourself to keep her happy? She loses interest. You trade your edge for comfort, your confidence for compliance, and she senses it instantly. Desire doesn't die because love disappears. It dies because polarity does. You stop being a man with direction and become a man orbiting her moods. And no woman, no matter how modern or independent, desires a man she dominates emotionally. This is the part every loyal husband needs to hear. You can't negotiate respect. You can't beg your way into attraction. You can't earn intimacy by sacrificing yourself. The moment love becomes a transaction, you've already lost the connection you're trying to save. Because she doesn't need more of your effort. She needs more of her own self-awareness. But that's something you can't give her. You can't fix her discontent. You can only decide how long you'll live inside it. Here's the truth most men never face until it's too late. You can't rescue someone who enjoys their own chaos. You can't romance someone out of resentment. You can't fix a marriage built on control and call it love. If she's emotionally checked out, no bouquet, no vacation, no deep talk will bring her back. Because this isn't about effort anymore. It's about respect. And once respect dies, attraction follows it to the grave. That's the hardest pill for loyal men to swallow. You've spent years believing effort equals love. That patience fixes everything. That loyalty can thaw a cold heart. But love without respect isn't noble. It's self-destruction dressed as devotion. You can't love your way out of contempt. You can only decide when to stop letting it define you. So, draw the line. Quietly, firmly. Respect or goodbye. Partnership or pretense. Affection or separation. These aren't ultimatums. They're standards. You're not demanding desire. You're demanding decency. You're not forcing love. You're refusing humiliation. Because begging for affection from someone who withholds it isn't love. It's training yourself to accept neglect. And every time you accept it, you teach her how little you'll tolerate before you break. Start reclaiming your self-respect in silence. Stop apologizing for existing. Stop shrinking to keep the peace. You've been a loyal man, a provider, a protector, and somehow that became a reason for her to roll her eyes. But here's the paradox. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you stop explaining, her story starts to crack. Because control only works when you participate. When you stop feeding the drama. When you stop rewarding manipulation with attention. She loses the script. She can't be the victim if you refuse to be the villain. And that silence, that calm, grounded, masculine silence, terrifies her more than any argument ever could. You're not walking away in anger. You're walking back toward yourself. Document the patterns, not for revenge, for clarity. Every cold shoulder, every guilt trip, every rewritten memory. You'll need the truth when she tries to twist it. You'll need evidence when the narrative changes. But more importantly, you'll need to remember who you were before you started doubting your own reality. Find your tribe. Real men who've lived through this storm. Not bitter men, not victims. Men who rebuilt. Men who stopped trying to earn love and started building worth. You need that brotherhood, because isolation is how manipulation thrives. And then, start rebuilding, not to win her back, but to win yourself back. Get strong again, not to impress her, but to remember what strength feels like. Do the things that make you alive again. Hobbies, friendships, goals. Build a life that doesn't orbit her moods. Not to prove something, to remember something. Because that's the attraction paradox no one talks about. The less you need her, the more magnetic you become. Independence restores polarity. Self-respect reignites value. Not because she suddenly changes, but because you finally stop trying to be her emotional oxygen. Do it for yourself. Not as a tactic, but as a truth. Because the man who stands on his own doesn't chase approval. He commands respect. And maybe, just maybe, she'll see it. Maybe she'll realize what she's lost. Maybe not. Either way, you'll be fine. Because you'll have something she can't take anymore. Clarity. That's what freedom looks like. Stop thinking of loyalty as martyrdom. Staying loyal to someone who mocks your effort isn't love. It's fear wearing honor as a mask. Staying for the kids, for appearances, for the dream you built in your head. All of it keeps you trapped in a story that no longer serves you. Sometimes, walking away is the most loyal thing you can do. Loyal to your sanity, your peace, your future. Because the truth is, she'll only recognize your value when you're gone. She'll only crave your energy when someone else appreciates it. She'll only miss you when you stop giving her the version of you she took for granted. But by then, you'll already be somewhere better. not necessarily with someone new, but with someone whole, yourself. And when that day comes, you'll finally understand what this was all about. It was never about fixing her. It was about freeing you. There are women out there who know what loyalty means, who give love without games, who see respect as mutual, not conditional. But you'll never find them while stuck begging for crumbs in a house built on contempt. So stop auditioning for affection. Stop performing for peace. Stop confusing endurance with love. You're not her emotional punching bag. You're not her therapist. You're not her mirror for self-hate. You're a man, with value, with purpose, with boundaries. Your loyalty isn't weakness. It's power when directed inward. Because once you turn that loyalty toward yourself, you stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. You stop surviving and start leading. You stop waiting for her to love you right and start loving yourself enough to walk away when she won't. And that's where real strength begins. Not in fighting for someone who's already left, but in rebuilding the man she couldn't break. The choice is yours. Stay and decay, or rise and reclaim. Keep explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you, or go live the life that proves she was wrong about you all along. Either way, choose consciously. Don't drift in quiet misery and call it commitment. Don't wear pain like a badge and call it loyalty. You've been faithful long enough. Now, be faithful to yourself. You've heard the truth. Now it's your turn to speak it. Drop your story in the comments. Tell me when you first realized effort alone couldn't save it. Your words might help another man wake up before he loses himself completely. Subscribe to the channel so you don't forget what real self-respect sounds like. And share this video with a brother who needs to hear it tonight, the one lying next to someone who stopped seeing him long ago. Sometimes, one honest message can save a man's soul. Make sure he gets this one.